How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I've been reading your comments, and the most requested video has been one regarding what we can expect to see from Electroneum in the path that lies ahead. In particular, as we round the corner to 2019, I think that this video is going to be dedicated towards talking about mass adoption and how mobile mining has its place. And essentially, Electroneum is an interesting, and if not the only game in town at the moment with this sort of thing going for it. And I think that Electroneum is going to continue to be an example in the cryptocurrency world as we continue to see Facebook showing a path forward to integration. And also, this is coming in an interesting time now, of course, with the stock market being as it is, and it's just showing all these different aspects, the Dow bounce back and all these different things happening and culminating at a similar time. And I think that it's also interesting bouncing around, looking at all how these different variables are very interconnected, connected at the hip, so to speak, and the things that Facebook runs into as far as problems that could easily be solved by cryptocurrency, and in the wake of all this, seeing how these mobile mining variables and of course how mobile phones are going to be integral to this sort of paradigm shift. And it's a very interesting topic to talk about, in particular in this market. I think this is going to be a very exciting video. We're going to have a great opportunity to talk about a lot of things that have been on the tip of everybody's tongue lately. Just think, an entrepreneur somewhere is right now building a cryptocurrency company that will be worth 1 trillion. Winning in the decentralized world will be exponentially more valuable than winning in the centralized world. And hats off. I think that's a good cryptocurrency tweet of the day, and a very interesting note to start this video off. And right now, I think it's interesting to look at something like Electroneum in particular as we come to the end of 2018. Electroneum is a promising technology, in my opinion. When it comes to mobile mining, when it comes to mobile phones, I think Electroneum could be described as the only game in town at the moment when it comes to the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of issues that go into mobile mining. One in particular would be these issues of like overheating in the phone, which I think that Electroneum has done a good job of handling and taking a proactive, solution-oriented approach so that Electroneum could be up to par. And I think when it comes down to the App Store, Electroneum has its ducks in a row. Of course, when you look at the people who Electroneum is getting on board, it's pretty much a who's who of the mobile phone space, and there's a clear indication that we're going to be seeing more integration of cryptocurrency technologies in the overall space as things move forward. So I mean, as far as the day-to-day goes, I think that it's important not to get distracted by the day-to-day, but of course, even in this market, Electroneum being in the green, which of course is an interesting indication of the power and the possibilities that are in store for Electroneum in particular. But of course, it's no eternal token with 459 in the green at the current moment. But then again, when it's only a selected group of cryptos that are actually managing to take the green, with a lot of your favorite cryptos even getting wiped off the map on a regular forgettable day like today, is still an interesting thing to say the least. And I think that it's definitely important, because when it's a bull market, it's anybody's game. Any crypto can make, pretty much everybody's partying, and thinking that they're the boss. They think that they're Steve Jobs when things are going great, but the who's who of the cryptocurrency world is pretty much determined when there's all this red. And I think that it's no secret that Electroneum has managed to sort of take that steps forward, and the vital, essential, basic things that need to be laid down, the fundamental groundwork and all these different things, very integral and reminiscent of what we can expect to see as far as the decentralized and this sort of global space of people who are going to be able to leverage the power and the possibility and the promise that Electroneum makes possible. I think that this is also an interesting tweet right here. Electroneum, Digibyte, the 2018 bear market seems to be taking a rest. Cryptocurrencies that have been out of favor throughout the the bear bouncing back are just an interesting observation. And of course, proving mass adoption has started for cryptocurrency. This sort of Electroneum is essentially leading the way, and I think that that's a good segue to start talking about mass adoption, because it's going to look a lot different than I think a lot of people have come to believe it might look as far as mass adoption is concerned. People tend to imagine it with these different cryptos taking the role of basic day-to-day commerce and all these different things, but I think mobile mining and the mobile phone sector learning to basically equip this ability to store cryptocurrency and all these different things, it is an interesting thing. Of course, another sign of mass adoption with Facebook cryptocurrency integration. The intent to integrate is definitely big, especially coming from something like Facebook, and I think it's all too necessary at the moment, because we've seen Facebook running into problems that could easily be solved by the decentralized and of course all these different approaches, and of course this is only going to mean more of what you love, which is manipulation. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody loves manipulation, or possibly I'm sure plenty of people out there have mixed feelings about it. I'm not going to speak for anybody other than myself, but when it comes down to it, I think it's definitely interesting to see these different movements, these power plays being made by major players. Litecoin becomes first cryptocurrency to support the UFC. Me personally, I'm a very big fan of the UFC. I'm also a big fan of Litecoin, and personally I'll probably be buying some Litecoin just to support Litecoin, because that means supporting a cryptocurrency that's the first to sponsor the UFC. Who doesn't love the UFC? But no, that's sort of a side note. But yeah, overall I think mobile mining does have its future, and I think that its overlap with mass adoption and making all these different things accessible to everyday people, I think it's a big step forward, something interesting to look forward to in 2019. One good thing that's been happening is they've been bringing to light a lot of these questionable ICOs, all these questionable cryptocurrency startups. I think that this is something that needs to happen, bringing a lot of these questionable things to the light. And questionable is, I guess, the word of the day, but it's definitely something that needs to happen. Purging of dishonesty would be exponentially good in a lot of ways more than one. And I think that moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see, Electroneum and how the reputation is everything essentially. And I think so far Electroneum's reputation is pretty, exponential as far as the way we're going to be seeing things moving forward. A lot of these big actors and in the mobile phone space, how they're in particular going to be taking a lot of different critical turns, twists and turns moving forward, and it's very exciting to see these things moving at such a fast pace, but also the fact of the matter is that the more things change, the more things tend to stay the same, and I think that's from some Charles Dickens novel, perhaps it was from Oliver Twist, but yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Obviously remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Obviously remember, I'm not your dad. This video is not advice, but yeah, overall, I mean, my opinion on Electroneum is fundamentally positive. I try not to get distracted by the day-to-day, try to pay attention to the big picture, and one of the things that I like to look at is how companies are going to be leveraging these technologies as things continue to move forward. And but it is interesting, especially today, with the Dow soar of 1,086 points. What do you guys think about this? How's it going to affect the cryptocurrency space? And the world debt clock keeps ticking. I know this sort of become a funny meme on this channel, but it is very serious stuff, something to look at. Sort of a reminder of the house of cards that is fiat currency, and something to pay attention to as far as what we can expect to see as far as the developments of the reputations of Bitcoin and all the rest of the cryptocurrency family. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any more sort of recommendations, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments section down below. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay relevant.